Jimbos Garage.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Jimbos Garage. Well, it's getting colder here in the wintertime, and it's time to get this garage warmed up a little bit, and I plan on installing a garage heater. But before we do that, I need to get some power to the area where the garage heater is going to be going, and it's going to be operating off at 220. So I'm going to be pulling it off an existing 220 outlet that I have currently set up for my welder. And what I plan on doing, and first of all, I need to tell everybody, I'm by no means an electrician, but I think I could probably handle what we're going to be doing right here. I currently have a 50 amp service for my welder, and what I've got here is a little 30 amp sub panel, and I'm going to be putting that just above the outlet that we're going to be using, and I got a 30 amp breaker right here, and then we're going to be using some number 10 wire for the 220, and we're going to be running that into this conduit right here and up to a 4S box up on the ceiling. And all of this stuff here I purchased at the Home Depot for about $100, so I didn't go to any specialty store to get any of this stuff. You can find this at your local big box store. And so with that said, let's go over here and get started. Okay, so this is the 220 outlet that we're going to be coming off of. I've got a knockout in the top of the box right here, and this is my 30 amp sub panel that I'm going to be mounting right about here, and we're going to be using this as actually a switch to be turning on the heater by a breaker. So before we get started here, the most important thing is to be sure that the power is off to the existing 220. I have flipped the breaker off over there. I've got my power tester here. I've double checked it. There is definitely nothing here. So we for sure have no power, which is a good thing, because this would result in bad things happening if it was on. So, all right, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to get started by taking off this outlet cover to one of my welding outlets that I don't really use, and went ahead and started putting on the necessary connectors that we needed, and then started installing the sub panel right above that outlet, and everything worked out really good. Made the connections in there, and I had some extra number 8 wire that I used to run the initial 220, and I just went ahead and used that to tie into the sub panel and got everything good and ready to go there. Started installing the conduit up the wall and into the ceiling area there, and I had this 1x4 that was up there that was in the way. I was using it for a rack that I installed, and I learned this one little trick. You heat it up with a torch, and you're able to bend conduit in a manner that you needed to get around things, and that worked out pretty good. I know that they got different tools to do that, electricians in the industry, but I'm not an electrician. I don't have those tools. But anyways, we got around it pretty good. It worked out right. Continue to install the conduit and an outlet box up there. I've put that where I think I might need it, and then finish it off with some clamps, and then just ran the snake up through the sub panel and out the other side, where we went ahead and just used some number 10 wire and pull that back into the sub panel. Now, all I had was a black, a white, and a green right here, and then in the number 10, and I just went ahead and used it, and I know that I should have used maybe 2 blacks or another color, a black and a different color, but hey, that's all I had, so we're going to use that white as the second pole of the 220. And I put some wire nuts on it, put a flat plate cover on the top for the future installation, got back over to the sub panel and made the connections with a 2-pole 30 amp breaker, put the cover back on, and man, I was pretty impressed. That worked out pretty good. And then got down to the box right there, made the final connections, tied everything together with some really big wire nuts, put everything back in, put a flat plate cover on it, and we are good to go. Okay, all the power's installed, and we're going to be operating this thing with this 30 amp breaker right here as a switch. We had a little bit of an issue up at the top up here where I had to actually get the conduit around a board that I really couldn't remove, and had a little trick for that, and that worked out pretty cool. And we ran everything over, and everything is all hooked up and ready to go. And always remember, when you're doing electrical work, especially around 220 or volts, big volts like this, be sure the power is off. I double and triple checked to be sure that there was no power coming to this area before I did any wiring. So everything's all in and done. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe for more.
See you next time, Jimbos Garage.